These are 6 of the worst treats you can buy from Pets at Home. Now, the first thing I want to say is that you should always read the ingredients for everything you give the dog. And so in this video, I am going to show you some of the things you should watch out for in order to determine what's actually going into your dog's diet. Because so many dogs have so many problems, and one of the main reasons is that the quality of the treats are very poor. The first one is an OG. We have Pedigree Schmackos. We have the meat variety, and the ingredients are pretty surprising. We have meat and animal derivatives, which total 40%, including 11% poultry, very reasonable, and then 22% beef and 5% lamb. And we then have derivatives of vegetable origin, cereals, minerals, and various sugars. Now, the first problem is that these meat and animal derivatives are very vague. Whilst we know that 11% is poultry, they don't specifically tell you which animal they put in. And then we have 22% beef. The rest, we do not know what it is, and therefore we do not know what our dog is getting. We then have cereals. We do not want to be giving our dog cereals. And last but not least is sugar. Sugar, refined sugar, should never be in pet food. So Schmackos is not a very good treat at all. The second one is WAG, and we are looking at the barbecue bangers, and the ingredients will again surprise you. The composition is the first ingredient wheat. We don't want to see the first ingredient as being wheat. What we want is an animal source, an animal protein, a high quality animal protein. The second ingredient is pork, which is 25%. We then have glycerin, chicken fat, minerals, and whey powder. So aside from the wheat, the rest of the actual treat is not that bad. The problem, the main issue here, the main offender, is that wheat is the first ingredient. Wheat is inflammatory, it's very hard for dogs to digest, and it's highly inflammatory. We do not want to see wheat in pet food. The third one is the Whirlers double flavor from Bakers, and we have the bacon and cheese variety, although they are all pretty similar. Again, the composition is cereals, vegetable protein extracts, glycerol, various sugars, meat and animal derivatives, oils and fats. What do we think about these treats? These treats are pretty horrible. Look at these ingredients, and you wouldn't want to be giving your dog these. We have cereals, we have various sugars, we have meat and animal derivatives, we have oils and fats, and we have milk and milk derivatives. Again, we have inflammatory ingredients, we have unspecific ingredients, and if your dog has any sort of health issue, by you giving the dog something so unspecific, the dog is obviously going to have a reaction to it, because we do not know what these manufacturers are putting into these treats. The fourth one is Greenies, and we have the adult dog treats, and these are dental chews, and dental treats are big business in the pet food industry, and most of them are pretty rubbish. Let me explain. The composition here is cereals, including wheat flour, 4%. Derivatives of vegetable origin, meat and animal derivatives, yeasts and fruit and juice equivalent to watermelon juice, 1.3%, and dried Huto rice, 0.02%, equivalent to Huto juice, 0.16%, various sugars, oils and fats. And then they have the cheek to say that some of these are natural ingredients, like wheat flour. Yeah, wheat flour is natural. Do we want wheat flour to be in our dog's diet? Probably not. Do we want various sugars to be in our dog's diet? I don't think so. Do we want meat and animal derivatives to be in our dog's food? No, we want freshly prepared lamb, we want dried chicken, we want herring, we want salmon, we want expensive cuts of meat. We do not want the meat and animal derivatives no one else wants. That's what we want for our dogs. That's what I want for my dog. The fifth one is the whimsies, and this is going to be very controversial because these are very, very popular. And we have the dental sticks, and the composition is potato starch, glycerin, powdered cellulose, lecithin, dry yeast, and natural colorants. Now, the main problem with any dental chew is that dogs do not have an enzyme called amylase in their mouth. So by definition, they cannot break down any carbohydrates, any starches you give them. So if you give them something like Whimsies or any other dental chew that has any carbohydrates or any starches whatsoever, you are going to be defeating the object, defeating the purpose of why you are given a dental chew. A dental chew should help your dog's mouth potential periodontal disease. What we don't want is to give our dogs something that they are not going to be able to break down in the mouth, because guess what? If they cannot break down any carbohydrates and any starches in the mouth, whenever we give them potato starch or powdered cellulose or wheat or anything like that, that tartar is gonna carry on accumulating in the mouth. So you are putting money in the bin by doing that. And the sixth one is the Health Science Canine Hypoallergenic Dog Treats. And I have a bone to pick with hypoallergenic stuff in the pet food industry. Now, hypoallergenic used to mean something, used to mean healthy, but nowadays manufacturers will put whatever they want in the food or the treats or whatever, and they will label it hypoallergenic. Hypoallergenic refers to a list of ingredients that has never been defined. It has never been defined by nutritionists. It has never been defined by veterinary practices. It has never been defined by vets. It has never been defined, full stop. So guess what? In Hills, we see that. We see cereals, we see meat and animal derivatives, we see vegetables, oils and fats, derivatives of vegetable origin, minerals, egg and egg derivatives. So let me tell you something. If you are giving your dog a hypoallergenic food because of your dog's pruritus, your dog's dermatitis, or your dog has diabetes, or your dog has any other health issue, and we start giving the dog cereals and meat and animal derivatives and sugars, and that food is labeled hypoallergenic, is that good or is that bad? Well, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the ingredients. The proof is that hypoallergenic doesn't mean anything, and therefore you should stay away from inflammatory ingredients, and you should stay away from anything that contains sugar in pet food. Now, there are so many dog foods, so many dog treats, and so many things that we give our dogs that aren't really good. They are actually horrible for them. So my advice is for you to read the ingredients for everything you give your dog, especially if your dog has any sort of allergies, any sort of sensitive stomach, any other health issues such as diabetes, pancreatitis or obesity, because all these treats, what they are doing is they are worsening your dog's condition. And if you want to learn more about dog nutrition, you should watch this next.